Yo, dude, how's it going?
Pretty good. Good with you.
Oh, pretty good. Just replying to some work stuff.
Oh, that's right. You're on the clock. You're a fucking adult and you're still finding time to play. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll to be honest, with like work from home stuff, I will just get to some of this stuff later. It just works better to play, like I was saying to you earlier,
Yeah,
just work
yeah.
and then crush out some more stuff later. It's not really a big deal to reorder it, I don't think, as long as the hours get done.
Work from home
Uh,
is definitely a play there.
yeah, I don't like back when I was like grinding a ton in 2018, 2019, trying to get ranked and stuff. That was a nightmare because I was in office all the time, and
Yeah,
so
that
I was just
sucks.
like, I was on the toilet watching VODs and shit. Like it was desperate
That's good
times.
movement though.
Yeah, I do harken back to that. I'm like, dude, I used to watch so many VODs, even compared to today. I watch less VODs today, which is probably worse.
Yeah, I do feel like people you get better at identifying stuff in game though. It's not that you don't need to, but usually you just intuitively get better at picking up on things that you've seen before.
Yeah, and you can like visualize them when you're not
Yeah,
playing and
exactly.
stuff like that. Like I'm like, oh, maybe that works there. So where I couldn't really do that before, I'd just be like, oh, straight up, I've never seen that before.
It's definitely important to
Um,
do, but the importance I think diminishes with it's important if you can't play good players. That's how I
Yeah,
feel.
exactly. I would say it gets like, yeah, I can still watch you like play Zane, and there's a ton to garner there because there's ideas there that I'm just not using, for example.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there are some players where I'm like, I don't know, people around even my levels. Sometimes there's stuff where I'm like, okay, shit, they're doing something I'm
Yeah.
not.
I still watch all the
Um,
Foxes. Like all of them I
yeah,
watch.
well, because one of them, yeah, just does a line of crack that day and just fucking or a line of coke and comes back and
Becomes
does something
fucking
insane.
Leonardo da Vinci on the screen or some shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
How do you feel about the games today so far?
pretty good. Like it's hard to just like sit down and then just play insanely cracked Fox it is. So like right at the start of the
Yeah,
session,
yeah.
I was like I'm chasing him so much and just like getting hit for it. I'm like I need to be a little smarter. But the other thing is there's um like when we play there's like way more full hopping going on and that's totally fine. I just noticed that versus some players that becomes bad because all they're doing is staying grounded, playing like Guile Street Fighter,
Yeah.
fucking trying to flash kick you for full hopping a lot. So
The reason I'm
um,
full hopping against you specifically is because you have the same. So this playstyle completely makes sense. You abuse the fact that every other Fox is really bad at mid.
yeah, exactly. Like there's like a radius where
Right, like
like
here.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
your range.
exactly.
You abuse every Fox. You're like, oh, I can nair here, and you're like, you're a dummy. I'm just gonna wave one back. I'm going to
Yeah,
dash
you
back.
exactly. You can't. And then like if I get a feel for the fact that you're definitely not coming in, then I might try and go in, or I get like close range, and then it's like because like even versus you, I'm noticing I'm like okay, there is hair trigger zones where it's like you'll definitely do something to me if I get too close. So I have to get just close enough you don't want to do something yet, and then pick like a
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's once I
like
can't
up
react
session.
anymore because then it has to be a mix-up. But if you're
It's
noticing
just your
spots that I'm doing
reaction.
something every time, then that's important for me to know.
Yeah, I think you're trying to like duel me in these weird little like there's like these fucking fade back
Yeah,
drill
yeah, yeah.
standups. Like, I just want to up smash them. I think you should just up smash them and like just fucking hit them. Like I keep trying to like dash grab them and I just barely whiff. But obviously the tiptoes of up smash does connect with the timing I'm trying to do. So I think like getting into this stupid standoff, I
Okay
hate
with
that
that.
spacing. Yeah, just fucking hit it. Like
Actually, I'm
I
not
got to
doing
do the
that at
same
all.
thing.
That's interesting. I used to up
I,
smash a lot. I don't know why I stopped.
I think I think you do up smash for sure. I think what it was is that you started to sort of get into what I wanted to do. I can't say for sure, but it felt like you sort of wanted to bait me in. Whereas at the start of the session, you were perfectly
Oh,
content
yeah, yeah,
running me
yeah.
down like a dog into the corner. So I think you sort of just adapted some of what I was doing, and it wasn't necessarily good.
I probably was
There
testing
were
some stuff out. That's something I'd probably sort out when I go back to watch it. But usually I like to test things out like as a session goes along. So I was probably trying to take some of the things you're doing and just seeing like where you use it.
yeah,
Uh,
it's like really the one thing you are hitting me for a lot is shielding off of the ledge dash. And I'm like, I gotta, because I basically you're like respecting the ledge dash just enough and then going in late with the grab.
yeah.
So I don't feel the need to up tilt. I think you're too far away for me to justify up tilting. I think I'm gonna get whiff punished. But I end up
JC
sort of
Shine is really good there.
yeah,
Like that
exactly.
JC
Looking for
Shine is
JC
the one that's
Shine.
is really good. Because the thing is, even if you miss, you can always like JC Shine, Wave Shine back instead of
Yeah,
full committing to it. So if you do like this, right, and then you jump back or you wave dash back instead, and if I come in and grab you, like if you just, well, I can just show you.
so
If I just run in
yeah,
and grab it, but you JC Shine, you wave dash back instead,
yeah. Oh, I see.
But if you went backwards, I whiff, right? Or you can like
Well,
full hop out of it, and unless I'm a psychopath and do this, right? Because if I whiff it, you can still come down with a drill, or you come down with a falling up air, whatever the percent is.
Yeah. No, definitely. I think the other thing I was noticing is that like and it's hard to fucking hit, but like if you're not sure where like I just think you're missing a lot of up air tech chases off of the tech in place.
I'm missing my dashes.
Okay.
I'm sure I'm just missing dashes all throughout the session. I think it's just me getting used to net play again because my setup is a little weird than CRT, and I noticed it takes me usually a few days to go back and forth, which is why I started going to LAN tournaments like a week early to get used to CRT because I'm done fucking trying to get used to CRT day of.
Yeah. The other thing you're not doing like all the time, but it's kind of throwing me off, because I feel like you're recovering like straight or high like a lot compared to going to ledge. Like I get off the ledge decently early a lot of these times, just because I'm like, okay, I gotta hit this guy. And usually people will start mixing up and going to ledge. I feel like the only time you go to ledge is when it's damn near guaranteed I can't get there. And not that I can't say that that's a bad thing. It's just something I think I could probably clear you more for.
As I play you more, you'll see that I'll start picking more and more spots to go to ledge, because it's just me getting an understanding of where, like, the best way I can describe it, and this is something that you should consider versus Marth, because this is really important for both edge guarding and recovering against Marth, is I'm trying to see, every time I do this, at what point you're making your decision to hit me. Because the better of a understanding I get of that, I can slightly adjust where I'm starting my recovery from. I can try side being from there instead and try to throw you off. That's pretty much how I get around Mars edge guarding also.
I see. So like that like very split second where they start to go out to do something or pick an option, you're like, okay.
I'm learning that timing. And that's why another reason I've been trying to yell at chat, because they're like, hey, you're doing the same thing in friendlies. I'm like, yeah, that's the point. Friendly is like you experiment with the shit.
Yeah, exactly.
This is literally to learn like other people's timings. Because the thing is, it's like, even if your timing is unique to you, usually boxes will have similar cadences in certain spots just based on how they're reacting to stuff. And so the next time I see someone do the same thing, I'm like, oh, this is kind of like when Miles edge guards me. I know how to play with this.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I play Josh a lot, and he started to get a timing for what I was doing all the time. So eventually I started changing it up and making it harder, and I'm like, okay, that's good. But then you play someone else and their timings and what they see is different. Like you have to understand what the other person sees to make an assessment.
Yeah.
Like, and when they see it.
That's why I like giving people what they want, because it allows me to see what exactly they're looking for, and that lets me play with them.
Yeah.
Now I can actually get in their head and try to play with them and say, like, okay, now I'm going to force you to play unreactable mix-ups. Yeah. I'm going to make you play unreactably at that range every time if I'm in disadvantage, because I'd rather take the pure mix-up than trying for some weird fucking niche option, unless, like, I'm pretty reasonably sure you're not going to be ready for the niche option, because those are things I think you kind of should... Not in a sense where people are like, oh, hide your cards for bracket, but like those are things that should be mix-ups. That shouldn't be your default.
Yeah. The last thing I noticed just while we're playing is like I feel like I sort of like end up overwhelming your reactions a bit, and like not overwhelming. That's like a weird way to put it.
Overstimulating?
But like, a little bit. Like it's like there's just a lot going on, and sometimes I feel like you end up playing like the really layer 1 mix-up about something. Like It's almost like we'll do a ton of scrapping, and then I'll see you come down through plats with these like aerials all the time, and I'd be interested to see you do more like just like waveland shit. Force me to move out of that option, because it sometimes feels like you want to barge your way in, like all the time.
I always want to barge my way. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to reduce it like one at a time. So that's the way I've always approached improvement. Is this is a matchup I want to work on this year, and I know that's like a pretty part of it. And so pretty much every time I go into a session, I'm going to have different aspects that I'm going to be working on. That's not one of the things I am super keen on working on right now, just because I don't think it's my biggest flaw. Getting a better understanding of like my basic flow charts again, making sure I'm really confident in a bunch of the common spots is the thing that I'm trying to focus on the most. But that is something for me to keep in mind later to bring up to Sammy whenever we watch VODs again, because that means that's something to work on maybe like a week down the road. I'm pretty much going to be playing against Fox and Falco one or the other every day up until Genesis, because this is a matchup I just want to hammer down.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those things where it's like a non-issue until it's a huge issue. Exactly, where like it's like it's working and it's strong, and every time you manage to hit my shield, I'm like, fuck, I could have hit him and not let him hit my shield and like get some like like be at frame advantage on me, and I'm in the corner now. But eventually, as I get better at getting those up smashes out or getting good up tilt timings, I think that barging your way in, you'll just end up getting boxed out more.
100%.
In general, I don't know. The games felt good. As time went on, I just started to realize like what spacing I can sort of plays safe at, and also just like I'm willing to accept that sometimes you will read me leaving all the way to the corner and hitting me for it, and that's okay. And there will be other times where I manage to get. Oh yeah, and there will be other times where I manage to clip you for going, because you're actually getting really far back into the corner is the other thing. That's throwing me off a bit because most foxes sort of just like put up their last stand like right here. And you're putting up your goddamn last stand like right here. And it's like, okay, I need to go all the way, but I also need to start going all the way from closer. Like, I can't let you come in either.
My goal is to not let you go all the way. My goal is that if you go here, I'm going to punish you for it. Like, you don't
exactly.
get away with it. I'm tired of people running to the corner.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I want to make it more favorable for you to play at center so that I can play what, in my opinion, is more interactive and good, true, quote-unquote, neutral.
Yeah, the other thing you're for sure doing, and this is not even a bad thing because I kept fucking trying it, is spot dodging the drill grab. That's on me, but I did get your ass a couple times with up smashes for it.
Yeah, I saw it. I don't mind getting hit by that a few times though. Like, I feel like that's just a mix-up.
Pretty much. I don't know. Like, maybe this is a dumb frame-dated question, but
a lot of times you're doing drill grab though when your drill's stale.
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, maybe drill up tilt, because up tilt's just a little faster comes out.
Even then, if it's stale, and especially if you get the frame off, it still doesn't work. So it's like it's definitely a thing. But I would just.
Are you just paying attention to how much drill I've used to like determine whether or not it's a little safer to play against?
The way I remember this is very weird. I have like so I don't always have photographic memory, but I have like an audiographic memory. So I remember the audio of the last few things I got hit by.
Yeah.
And so if I recall drill a few times and I hear drill again, I'm like, that's not good now.
Okay, you're just kind of playing under the assumption after you've been hit by, that's not good. Fair enough.
The things I'll say for you is mid-range, you need to be more assertive. So a lot of the times, and again, I think it's because so many other foxes, except for Josh, if they're at that range we talked about, they're pretty much guaranteed to force a scrap every single time.
They'll bite, yeah.
And so because of that, you got so used to playing the super waveline back happy, dash ends happy part of that mix-up. But the thing is, you're pretty much allowing me to get into what I consider to be like a positive expected value situation every time because you don't beat me to the punch. Because you're probably used to fighting like Zamu, who like if you try to scrap with her, she's always going to scrap there. She doesn't play a mix-up there. And so if you try that, she's ready and she's really good at it, so she usually shits on you for it. And the same with like Moki, who will just throw out the instant shine aerial, fucking do some weird movement trick right on top of you. But that's because they don't ever play the nuance at that range, which they both know and they're both working on. But that is an issue that they have right now. And so I've noticed that with most foxes. So you playing in that range has caused you to be too passive there. And it's funny because I've heard people say you're camping, and then I played you. I'm like, no. You are interacting. You're watching the entire time and clearly interacting. You are just straight up used to foxes who bite there every time. It's not worth it to engage there.
Yeah, it's a little hard to like assess. You know what the tricky part is for me there is that it's a little. I feel like I step on a bear trap sometimes getting into that spacing where like I play it and I can recognize I'm playing a bit passively in it, and then just what I pick in those spots seems to not really net me a lot. It almost feels like I need to get closer and then bait again even harder. I feel like I just throw a lot of shit away chasing all the way into the corner. It just doesn't feel quite right at this time. I don't know how like. That's just what it feels like to me. Is that I'm
the way you're playing going into the situation leads you to a spot where now I'm very comfortable. That's why I said you need to be preemptively assertive. Don't play the bait to get there. Call me out before I get to play the mix-up. Like, you have to beat me to the punch. That's why I chose the word like very intensely. Beat me to. There is no mix-up there. Sometimes you just have to accept you're gonna run up and grab me and upset you, and sometimes it's gonna work, and sometimes you're gonna get fucked for it. But the thing is, that forces me to respect that range more. Once I have to respect that range, now I can no longer freely play at that range that you're baiting and just try to chase you because I have that risk of getting preemptively hit. If I never preemptively get hit, I never have to respect that mix-up, so you're only playing half of it, which means my job to be very easy. It's literally the inverse.
Yeah, I've talked to people about this. Yeah. Okay, yeah, where it's, So there's a mix, I'm trying to understand basically the spots in which I want to put something out in place, where I want to leave the spot or go into the spot. And right now I leave the spot really, really well. If you want to call it that, but I'm not holding the spot or calling you out what I think you're going to do well enough. Like in that moment, I'm not actually making much of a prediction on what you're going to do.
No, you're very reactive. It's like a similar problem to what Jmook had for a little bit. And then the second he started just fucking raw bootstrapping, I was like, that's a big problem now.
Yeah. So actually, just to this point, I just want to make sure I'm kind of understanding. It's like, okay, I've forced you into a spot. Let's say you are fucking like right there.
Yeah.
I'm in this spot. I'm doing this shit because that's my favorite thing.
Yep.
And I did notice, like, occasionally, yes, I caught you up, but I didn't beat you to the spot. I would catch you dashing in at the spot, almost Falco Dare. And that's still not. That's still like 2/3 of the puzzle max. The last piece is like getting
Just
up in your
straight
shit.
up, you don't even like. So like, instead of doing this, so go to the corner. Like, I'm gonna shine you to the corner, right? And this seems like ignorant, which is why people do this. But literally, just do that. None of the way went back.
Force the issue.
Just force it. Now, obviously, when the person's in the corner, I'm a little bit of an idiot here and get gimped a lot for this. So maybe it's not the best when you're here, but like, especially at this spot, right? Or if you're here and the fox is here, just saying, nope, fuck you, I'm running in and hitting you.
That or even double shine or shine grab. Those two things can,
Yeah, exactly. They can net a lot, but because the way you will engage is that you'll do the dash dance, you'll do the wayland back, you're like, okay, he's not biting, now I'm going to go in, but you've already established my tempo. My tempo's already there now.
You also know now that I was waiting, and I'm probably not gonna wait much longer. Yeah. I got you. Like you basically staved me off and didn't let me come in, and now you've seen that I'm not bothering, so you think, okay, I'm gonna leave the fucking corner now, and I end up getting hit for it.
Yep. And I've already taken my space. Now you're in a spot where you're no longer favorable. Like, this is inherently favorable because of this thread. Like, just the threat of it is massive. But if
I need to play a proper mix-up. Like I bet I need to understand if you're going to shield, if you're going to contest, like what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. But if there's no mix-up, there's no reason for me to be scared. This is no longer a bad situation for me.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. I was feeling that too, and that's when I play against Josh now. I just realized that like all I really got better at was forcing him out of the corner and fighting him into the middle. Like it's. You know what it is? It's like it's almost like this weird playstyle where I'd rather win neutral a million times in center than take the risk of going all the way into the corner because I feel like I've died so much for it. But it's probably that's not really doesn't fix anything or learn anything. That's just
and also you will die there sometimes. That's just part of melee.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
That's also
decisions get bad results sometimes.
I think that's also why people struggle massively versus Marth is because they're not willing to take that risk against Marth, and it's like if you don't. Like, everything Marth does is a risk. If you're not willing to take the risk against Zane, he's just going to shit on you for it.
Yeah, I do try. Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. I try and use these wavelines not just defensively. I'm sure you caught some of them where it's like, I'm definitely trying to enter your spacing too, like, with them. Like, I want you to think that I'm going back, and then at that last second, in fact, I'm coming in. But it's not assertive. Again, it's not assertive, and it's also a little slower. Like, it's not as fast as just fucking getting up in your shit, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, alright, fair point.
And keep in mind, like, the style you have, if you play against a Fox that is scrapping in that range every time, the style you have will beat them, like, 99% of the time. That's a completely good style to have.
Yeah, it's important to just understand... Like, my life could be easier against people who are gonna just sit in the corner, and I'm letting them do that, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So someone like Josh might be a little harder because he's usually not going to bite in those spots, and you're just going to be playing longer neutral.
Yeah, that and Josh does like the fucking box nares. I talked about him about this, as I realized every time I get exactly. He'll turn around and fucking just instantly nair every time, and I'm just like, oh shit, okay. And he's like, yeah, I do that, and I'm like, oh, okay.
You know you can do that really easily, right? You know how to instant nair with normal controller, right? Just nair with Z. Just literally Y to Z, instant nair.
How am I not getting? I'm just gonna get grabbed though.
What do you mean? That which means you're pressing Z too fast.
Oh man, but then I'm risking getting grab out.
I mean, every time I do instant nair, I am, right? Because if I do it too fast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So the risk being it's a little slower with A, but more of a man. Okay. Yeah, like it's not that I can't, but like doing them right in place is kind of tricky. Well, I guess at that point it's kind of a pivot nair, but.
I mean, if you want, you can also claw like Y to Z. So that's how I used to. So that's how I used to do my short outs. Like this up air, that's just all claw. Right, that's a claw to air. That's not Z jump.
Oh, interesting. I would just claw to C stick to do my up airs.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm like claw, index finger, flick up, and then flick up on the C stick. Like all that stuff you can do with claw.
Sorry, you said Z. I wasn't sure if you said Z or not. Okay, yeah. Oh, but I guess because you are on Z jump now.
Yeah, but I can do both. People said Z jump, but if you go back and watch me at CEO in like 2019, I was already doing this. It's just my hands are really big, so it's uncomfortable. So I don't like it. Actually
getting that short hop like Kalindi up air or whatever on the plats, I find it easier to like just hold the stick at an up tilt position and then just press A.
Yeah, all the short hop aerials instantly are actually still really easy on Y.
The Y they are, you just have to get used to that motion kind of.
Just use it. It's
Sliding.
like a rotating motion. So like I think you played in music. Usually a lot of instruments will tell you like use your wrists more than just your fingers, and you can use your wrist really easily to get those motions.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's what I had. I think pretty sure.
Yeah, I honestly was just happy with where I was making adaptations and like scrapping better and not giving you so much for free. But I knew, I fully recognize the same business where it's like it's hard. I'm not. I actually haven't met a lot of people that are like you're camping, but they'll say you're defensive positionally, or like when I talk to people about it more.
You're reactively proactive is how I put it.
Yeah, it's weird because I am waiting.
It's like Zane.
I'm making a prediction that you're gonna do something. And in that sense, I am, there is some proactivity with how I'm positioning it, but it's not, I'm not beating you to the punch like you're describing.
Yeah, exactly.
I am still ultimately trying to bait something out. So it's half the puzzle, yeah.
It's a lot of Zane's old style where now he's trying to be more proactive, but he was like purely like very reactive. But the thing is, he was never campy. He was always engaging.
It's always positionally like I'm at the center of the stage. It's not like I'm fucking over here wave landing.
Yeah, exactly.
In the corner while you're on the other side.
In the corner looking for a gim.
And I'm not even trying to like go to the plats and just run away unless I'm totally fucked.
Yeah, no, you're very engaging, but it's just if you were like slightly more assertive, at least against me and against some of the campier foxes, like I could see that potentially Akko might give you trouble. I don't know if you've played him, but I could see.
I played him recently, but again, I did a better job. You know what it is? He was a bit like I played him last weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, at Egg Dog, but he was
weird all of Egg Dog. I think
he was weird all. He was super like he was just really scared. We talked about it. I was like, dude, I could get like this close to him in the corner, and he was throwing his shield up and shit. And I was like, you need to like leave the corner and figure something out because I'm if like you're saying like if even I'm walking up to you all the way in the corner, then we got a problem.
No, he's doing a better job of that recently, but I think that he's like was about to be top 10 and he let it get to his head. I talked to him and he was very in his head after that set. He was like, yeah, I'm like scared. I don't want to. And I tried to explain to him like it doesn't matter.
Dude, you just got to go literally just listen to the inner game of tennis. There's a reason it's a meme and people joke about it, but like there's so much value there. It just totally changed my perspective. I don't feel very nervous at all when I play any sets anymore. That was the other thing. I played like Zamu and Aklo, and I was like, you ever just get on the sticks and you're like, this person feels much more nervous than I am, and you just relax. Yeah, I'm like, this person is making so many weird nervous mistakes. Like, I'm chilling, I guess.
Yep. I've been there plenty of times, especially recently because this year I got way better at dealing with my mental.
Yep. But yeah, anyway, I'm down to run more.
Yeah, let's play like another hour.
Yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Cool. See ya.
Thanks, dude. Peace.
Alright, we're gonna keep playing. Hopefully chat found that somewhat informative. I just like talking about my games with people. It's just good active feedback. And it's good if you guys are someone who has practice partners, I highly encourage you to do the same type of thing where you try to engage with the people you're playing with. It's just a very healthy and productive thing. Yeah, perfect. Literally, all he needed to do was just run in and fucking shine me. I got owned for it. Yep. Case in point. Now I already have to reevaluate how I'm fucking playing against him. A little uncomfortable because he's like thinking about it.
Oh my goodness!
Envelope, thank you. Shine. It's okay. Yep, the JC Shine. He listened really well.